Well, hello YouTube. Today's video we are going to be doing a propaganda I'm not falling for. This has apparently been a trend on TikTok, and I first saw it on YouTube because I don't really use TikTok. I saw someone on YouTube do it like in a podcast form, and they were talking about propaganda they're not falling for. Obviously this isn't necessarily propaganda, political war propaganda, you know, you got me with the woke stuff. Sorry, Jimmy. You know, people are just having fun online.
I don't know. I guess I'm not woke, okay? Fine, you win with your gay stuff. That's what you want, right? To win.
But fun online usually comes with people not using words how words were originally created to be used. But yes, before we get into it, some of the content I've recently posted, by the time I upload this, I think I probably uploaded my Philly vlog, which would be like the most recent video. And then before that, I posted my makeup favorites, things that I've been using for months and months and months, not necessarily popular right now, but I use, and those are a lot of things I'm gonna use in this video. And then before that, I posted my vlog to Europe when I went to Paris and London. So if you like vlogs, get ready with me. I have lots of those. And yeah, let's get straight into this. So the first one is calling girls pick me or not a girl's girl. I feel like these terms first started off as like, you know, calling people out for like, okay, you are only signing with a man because you have internalized like misogyny or whatever, or you will pick a man over your friends even though he's the worst person you've ever met in your entire life. And now it just seems like anything a girl does that some other girl doesn't like, she's a pick me or she's not a girl's girl, when it's just like, was it really that? Like sometimes, like I know this might be controversial, but it's like you can just call a girl a name that starts with a B and ends in an H and keep it pushing. Like maybe you shouldn't, like that's not nice, but I just feel like it's like mass meanness. Like people are like, oh yeah, girl didn't tell me on TikTok where she got her shirt from, she's not a girl's girl. It's like, was it really like that? And I mean, even in that context, I don't think you should necessarily call a girl a B word. Like I said, I don't promote that, but I'm just saying, like, I just feel like sometimes people want to use the B word, but they want to come off as like socially cool and like get cool points and like get cosign, because I feel like most people aren't going to cosign someone else for calling someone a B word unless it's like extreme circumstances. Call a girl a pick me or not a girl's girl, like it kind of, you know, it's like everyone's like, yeah, girlhood, like, you know, everyone's on that girlhood, I don't want to say nonsense, but like, yeah, everyone's on that era right now. So I feel like when you say she's not a girl's girl, she's a pick me, it's a lot easier to get cosigned on your small, not important beef with a girl. So yeah, that's something I'm not falling for. I feel like if you have an issue with someone, having an issue with another girl doesn't automatically make what she's doing a pick me or not a girl's girl. The next thing I'm not falling for is something that's also pretty popular online, and that's those la boo boos. I don't know if that's what you call it. I wrote it down, la boo boos, or no, it's la boos. I could be wrong about the name. Honestly, I don't really get it. Like, I think they're ugly. Obviously, I'm someone where I like to collect random trinkets. That's my biggest fatal flaw. I like random crap. Like, you can literally see up there, it might be blurred, but like you can see I have little Lego minifigures. I like small random crap, so I get it, but I just think those small random craps are so ugly, and apparently they're going for like $400. Why? Would y'all like that even if it wasn't viral on TikTok? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's fine if you do, but I just think they're really ugly, and I'm definitely not falling for the marketing. I know right now in general, lots of blind boxes and just that type of culture is really popular right now, which, you know, we're in a recession, we're always recessed or in a terrible job, I don't know. So I get people wanting like little pockets of fun, but I just, once again, I just think they're ugly. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with them, honestly. Like, it's not my money. People can spend their money however they want. I just think they're ugly. That's really it. So I'm not falling for it. Next thing I'm not falling for, which is, I think I said this before, like maybe at this point like a year ago on TikTok when I used to post on TikTok, and I was like, I don't think I would be interested in solo travel. I didn't even think I said like solo travel wasn't good, but for me, it's solo travel. Like, I just can't imagine myself going somewhere and having fun. Like, maybe, I don't know, I don't think I'm boring. I just think traveling to me also goes hand in hand with like being there with a partner or my family or a friend or, I don't know, just a group, like people to experience it with. Like, I don't think I wouldn't have fun, but I just feel like it wouldn't have the same type of high I be having when you come back from a trip, you know, like, yeah. But then at the same time, I was literally just talking to someone about it, and I was like, I feel like if I were to solo travel, I wouldn't go to like somewhere I've always wanted to go, which sounds crazy. Like, if I don't necessarily have a dream location, trip of a lifetime type of trip, I'm not going there by myself. I want to go with someone I love. Like, that's just me. I cannot, I don't know, it just enhances the experience. Versus, like I was saying, with a trip I potentially could see myself going on a solo trip is like to Canada. Like, I've always wanted to go to like Montreal, which is like not really that big of a deal, honestly. So like if I went there by myself, I feel like I wouldn't mind. But going to like a dream place, like if I went to Paris like a couple months ago for the first time, and that was fun. I mean, sure, like I would have had fun by myself. Like, I don't think I can't have fun. Like, I'm a very lonesome person. Like, I do a lot of things by myself, and I'm not always with someone to do them. But I don't know, I just feel like something that's special for a trip, something I'm spending so much money on, I want to be there with people I love. So I'm not against it, and I don't think anyone else shouldn't solo travel, but I just don't think it would hit the same how like when I've traveled with my family or my partner or with a best friend has, you know? Okay, so the next thing, we're gonna call this like luxury anything. So the first one I wrote, or the two things I wrote, were luxury apartments and luxury braids. Apartments, everything is luxury. There is no way I'm walking into this thinly built apartment building with vinyl, not even real hardwood floors, and you're telling me this is a luxury apartment. I do not care if you have floor to ceiling ceilings. This is not a luxury build. This is the most basic. And if it's every building in this neighborhood, in the city, is newly built and has these, looks exactly the same floor plan, nothing special, how is it luxury? It's not. Like, I'm just so tired. And then like, I hate luxury buildings, even outside, all the fees. It's just like, like when I've gone on tours to like luxury buildings or buildings with all these amenities and stuff like that, I do not use the study. Like, I've lived in buildings with like library rooms, study rooms, whatever, community rooms where it has a kitchen. Like, I've literally never used them. Like, even in the building I live in right now, there's a pool, there's a study room. Have I even been in the study before? No, I think I have been in the study. Literally the only time I went in the study was when we went on the tour, and then I think I wanted to go in there once, like, just to like look at it again after we moved in, and my key fob wasn't working. But like, honestly, I don't want to sit in a room with other people. Like, sure, that would be nice if that was just my living room or like my, you know, personal common space. Why would I want to sit in a common space and be all relaxed, and then all of a sudden some Joe from the 6th floor is in the room?
And now I want to sit back and relax and enjoy my evening, when all of a sudden I hear this agitating, grating voice.
No. That's not for me personally. Like, I mean, like, one of the buildings I lived in college, they had like study rooms where they were like private offices basically. I like that, but like just a common room. And I'm also the type of person where like I get easily distracted seeing people walk around. So it's like, I see someone walk around, I'm like, who's that? What y'all doing? You know? So I don't know. I don't like it, and I just don't fall for it. Like, I know I don't use stuff like that. So it's like, you're making me pay on top of rent an amenity fee. No. No. And then also, a lot of those buildings, luxury buildings, always have extra hidden fees. Like, for example, the building I live in, I don't know if they brand themselves as a luxury build or whatever. For example, the base rent, we pay like an extra like $30 for trash valet, and it's just like, I just don't get why y'all couldn't put that in the base rent. Like, because it's not like it's optional, like you have to pay that fee. So it's like, why don't you put it on the advertising listing on Zillow so I can know if this is what I want to pay for? You know, it's just weird. Like, I just feel like if it's mandatory, why are you breaking it up into random fees? Because that's like a part of the rent basically. You know, you can't live here without paying that. So I hate them. I feel like anytime I see a building, it's like, we have this, we have a dog park, we have that. I do not care, because I know I'm never gonna use it, so I'll never even let myself fall into the idea of like, oh yeah, this is a luxury build or this is that. Like, it's not worth it. And then also another thing I hate, I'm sorry, I'm going in on these luxury buildings, but another thing I hate is the package room. I hate a package room. I say as someone, I grew up in New York City. I grew up in like a brownstone, but like not a personal, like my family doesn't own the brownstone, but we live in an apartment in a brownstone building. And so sometimes the packages would be left outside, and then sometimes, you know, like the mail person would just buzz all the apartments and someone let them in, and they would put the package inside, like inside the building, not like at our door, but inside the building. And I would say like literally my entire life, we've lived there since I was like a younger kid, like I think pre the age of 10. So we've lived there for a long time, and of the packages, I would say maybe like less than 10 packages have ever gone missing or something like that. And so it's just like, these package rooms in these buildings, they always have so many rules. Oh, they're on lunch break, they're doing this, oh, it's a holiday, oh, we're understaffed. It's just like, why can't I get my package whenever the hell I want it? Why are y'all holding my package hostage? Or, oh, we didn't process it yet, so you can't get it even though it's been there for 3 days. If y'all don't give me my package right now, yeah. So that's me on these luxury buildings. The pool I don't use. Any of the extra amenities that a building may have, I never see myself using. But yeah, that's on the luxury buildings. On to another luxury experience is braids. So obviously right now we're in a renaissance with braiding, where like a lot of these before, you know, this is peak capitalism, right? Pre like, what, like 2018, 17, a lot of the hair braiders were mostly just like older women. A lot of them were African braiders, like, you know, immigrants from Nigeria, Ghana, wherever, right? Africa. And no tea, no shade, but a lot of us all know kind of like the braiding experience. Like for me, like I grew up in New York State, I've gone to African braiding shops and they weren't the best, right? Like sometimes it would be like one of my least favorite experience. I feel like that's why when I was younger, I hated getting my hair braided, because my mom would call them and be like, oh yeah, can my daughter come get her hair braided? And they'll be like, yeah, she can come right now, we can do it right now. And then I'd go, and then I'd be sitting there for 2 hours. It's like, why did you tell my mother that I can come and get my hair braided right now? And you know full and damn well you just started extra small box braids on a person with the biggest brain you've ever seen. Please do not piss me off. And like, just like the vibe, it was always overcrowded. So then, you know, there were a lot of girlies, like younger girls, kind of like Gen Z, I guess late millennials, who started learning to braid. They started offering services in suites in their homes, and they've just kind of been upgrading and like doing a different thing. They've offering booking, so you don't have to worry about like, oh yeah, I have to come and then I'm waiting 2 hours. It's like I'm supposed to start at like 8, I'm gonna get started at 8 or maybe latest 8:30 compared to before. So that's peak capitalism, right? So then now a lot of the African braiders have been getting on their shit. They've been doing better about the timing, doing better about braiding faster, not taking 20 breaks to feed their kids or to go pick up their kid, or you know, I support motherhood, but sometimes it's just, it was a lot. And I'm not saying this is all African braiders. I'm really just talking about the African braiders I went to, and those were like 2-3 different shops I grew up going to, and that's how they operated. So now we have like the young girlies, and they have these booking suites, and they have these like nicely built salons with the green grass walls and all those things, and now they want to be charging you $500 for braids. Hold the hell up. First, we went from just regular box braids, right? We no longer do box braids. That's out. That's sold 2016. But now, because they're knotless, you're charging me an extra $200. Then if you want perfect parts, like should come with the style as normal, that's an extra couple $100. And then if you want to breathe, that's extra couple $100. And then it's like, y'all just want to get a big box of potato chips from Costco, a big box of soda from Costco, and it's 9 a.m. and you're gonna offer me a bag of chips and a full sugar Coke, not even Diet Coke. And you're gonna be like, yeah, this is a luxury experience because we're offering y'all snacks. Have you lost your fucking mind? Answer me quickly. That is not luxury. Y'all just offered a snack, like, and you're already charging me $500. Like, I'm not falling for it. And the prices of braids just keep on going up. It's actually insane. Like, it's actually insane. And then everyone's just like, it's luxury, it's this. It's not luxury. You offered me a bag of potato chips. You could keep your potato chips. Just lower the price. Y'all are renting out these bougie salons that y'all can't afford, and the light bill's real expensive, operating at hours y'all shouldn't be operating at because you're losing money operating at 2 a.m. for that one person who needs a 2 a.m. appointment. And then now you're trying to charge me $600 for medium knotless braids. And let's not even talk about how the parting is not standard. Pisses me off. Next thing I'm not falling for is expensive concerts. I'm not even a concert goer. I wouldn't even give myself that title. I'm not trying to steal nobody else's culture. You know, my culture is not your costume. Their culture is not my costume. But every once in a while, I'm like, yeah, you know, I feel like I would go to more concerts. I have a couple of artists that I really ride for, you know, like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, you know, it changes, right? But why are your tickets so expensive? And there are other artists I would potentially go to your concert, but then it's like, if I'm paying $200-300 to sit all the way up in the 400s, I need to know every word of the song, every single song, every album, every era. I don't care. I need to know. I need to be able to stand and sing to every single song before I'm paying $200-300 to be up in the nosebleeds, right? The only concert I've really gone to for real, like I paid for a ticket, was Taylor Swift's Era Tour, and I literally got the tickets like retail price. Like I was in the nosebleeds I went to MetLife. I posted a vlog like a couple years ago, but I went to MetLife Stadium and we were up in the 400s, and I paid $100, and like me and my friends split it, and I literally got the tickets for me and my friends. Like I was in the Ticketmaster war, and this was before we knew it was gonna be a war for real. This was like the first batch when it was like the pre-sale. I got it for retail, and the rest was history, man. Like, I probably would have been willing to pay a little bit more because I do like basically all the Taylor Swift songs, but other people, every once in a while, I'm like, yeah, like for example, Beyonce. I love Beyonce, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like a Beehive person. I don't know every single word to every single song, so I'm not paying $200 to be up in the nosebleeds to not truly, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I think it's crazy, and I'm not falling for it. I don't care. I know the world's in like a concert renaissance ever since, you know, we kind of had COVID and like people were in the house, and now we're kind of like back post-COVID with all the concerts and stuff like that, but I don't care. $200-300, $400, and then also obviously part of the issue is that Ticketmaster is a monopoly. The government hasn't done about it. We have scalpers ruining it for everyone, so there's just like a lot going on. But right now it's not worth it for me. There are a lot of artists I probably would go to their concert just like for fun and casually, but all that money for one night for like 4 hours, I need to love you. The next couple are kind of food related, but the first one is matcha. I know everybody and their mom is like in love with matcha, and honestly in general, I'm not really like a drink person. Like I don't drink tea or coffee every morning, or I don't like how coffee tastes. And like tea, I drink tea, but I don't really like drink it every day. It's not like something I need. And yeah, I tried matcha once. I had like a little gift card and I tried it somewhere, and I was like, this is so nasty. Like it literally tastes like grass. Who is drinking this every day? I don't get it. Like that really, I'm not falling for, I don't know. And it's expensive too. In general, I'm not like a morning drink person. I'm glad I'm not into like coffee or tea or Starbucks or anything like that, because it's just like, who is spending $15 on a matcha or coffee with 2 pumps of this or that? Like it's crazy to me. The next thing I'm not falling for is oat milk. I know a lot of people got into like oat milk, almond milk, silk milk, all that because they're like lactose intolerant and they can't drink regular milk, but I've been a #1 hater of milk alternatives since I was a child. I remember when I was a kid, my mom kind of got onto them. My mom is lactose intolerant, so I think she got onto like the silk milk vibe, and this was like back in the 2000s, so like this was pre oat milk. I feel like, I mean, maybe oat milk did exist, but I feel like it wasn't popular because like, all I heard about was like almond milk and lactose free milk maybe, and my mom used to buy almond milk, and when I tell you I hated that almond milk, like I definitely was not drinking that. I hated it. I hated cereal because I hated almond milk and it would ruin the meal. Even like other things we would have, like if we were like making, you know, Kraft mac and cheese, if you put that almond silk milk in it, it was nasty. So I've always kind of been an alternative milk hater, and if you're someone who is lactose intolerant, I would recommend Fairlife. That is way better, and it's lactose free, and it's literally still milk. They just took away the lactose, and you can get the ones that have higher protein in it if you like that type of stuff, which is something we'll talk about protein as well later on. But yeah, I'm not falling for almond milk, silk milk, nut milk, cow piss milk, whatever y'all want to come out with and call it milk, and it's not milk. Not falling for it. Speaking of protein, the thing I'm not falling for is, or this is not enough thing to fall for. I mean, I guess it is, but calling anything with protein, oh yeah, it's high protein. High protein only works if something is like, I think, what is it, 10%? You're about to eat something, right? And say it has 100 calories. And for those 100 calories, you want it to have at least 10 grams of protein. That's 10%. You know, if you're bad at math, that's how that works. That's 10%. 10% of 100 is 10. So it should have at least 10 grams of protein in it for you to be calling it high protein. If it doesn't have that, please stop calling it high protein. It's annoying as hell. For example, this is actually something I drank like maybe this morning. Core Power, right? I'm bringing up a lot of Fairlife. This is 230 calories. It has 42 grams of protein. That makes this high protein because that is literally way more than 10%. That's like what, close to 20%, a little under 20% or something like that. But my point is, calling everything high protein is so annoying because it's just like, that is 1,000 calories and it has 10 grams of protein and you're calling it high protein. Having any number of protein does not make something high protein. You have to think about the ratio to calories. The next piece of propaganda I am not falling for is more than 3 interviews for one job. Let me tell y'all, the things I've been put through with some of these interview processes to get gainful employment in this country has actually been criminal, and all these companies and HR departments will stand trial for their crimes against me, but I've never gotten a job that's required me to do more than 3 interviews. Like, it's actually insane. Like, some of these jobs will really play with you for so long. They want you, and it's just like, oh yeah, we want you to meet the team. You gotta meet Shelly, Johnny, Kirk from ET. Mind you, you're trying to get a job in HR. It's just like, why am I into, and I get obviously cross-functional bullshit, but it's just like, have you lost your damn mind? This interview process is 3 months long. I need a job right now. Are you crazy? Like, it's actually insane. And then like, just in general, the whole entire like recruiting process where it's like, I hate it so much because it's just like, you have to be at their beck and call, you have to be ready to interview, and then it's like they'll ghost you. Like, I remember one company, I could tell this story because I'm so far removed for this. I thought I had this job. This was like when I was in college. It was like for an internship, and they made me do like 7 interviews, and then they go 7 interviews. I wanted this job so bad, like so bad. I mean, I did like 7 rounds of interviews only for them to ghost me. I've done jobs where they want me to do projects and presentations. Sometimes I'm like, okay, am I blocking my blessings by having this idea about these jobs? But it's just like, no, like, you have me doing all this work. I don't care how much you pay. Like, you have me doing all this work, and they ghost all the time. I'm sorry, like, I literally walked into a wall and I have a knot in my head. So like, literally I'm like blending and I feel it right here. It's so annoying. But my point is, like, someone like, am I blocking my blessings by being like anti more than 3 jobs for interview? But I just feel like some of these jobs think I have time to play, and I don't. Like, I barely already like interviewing, and I'm kind of better at it. Like, I feel like before I didn't like, because I felt like I wasn't good. I feel like I'm better at it now, and some of them, it's just like, any job that's for me cannot be more than like 4 interviews. 4 is my absolute max. Like, you got me doing 4 or 5 interviews, and then you ghost, or you get like the auto reply. I don't know. Like, I just feel like if I've done more than like a recruiter screen for a job, I expect an email. I feel like if I get ghosted after the recruiter screen, I'm not too pressed about it, you know, because I feel like also, you know, it's not that deep. You didn't invest that much time. Usually the recruiter screen is like, what, 10 minutes? It's not that deep, right? They feel like you ain't thorough, you know. But then it's like, okay, I've met Johnny, Shelly, I've met the entire company, the CEO, the CEO's best friend, the CEO's wife. I met everybody. I basically run this company at this point. And y'all don't have a decency to send me an email until 3 months later, an auto reject email, and you're like, sorry to let you know that you haven't. I could have deduced that at this point. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little salty from that, but like, it's just, I hate it so much, and I feel like it caused me so much anguish a couple of months ago, a year ago. like going through the job process. But thankfully I am gainfully employed and I'm able to pay my bills and stuff like that. But at one point, being in the heights of a recruiting process for a job is like one of the worst places to be. Like it sucks so much because like I said, there's so much power in their hands and not enough in yours, and you're just at their beck and call, and it sucks. Okay, the next one in the same vein of like work is work friends. I'm sorry, like I feel like no matter how much someone tries to square it away to me, I don't think I could ever really be friends with people at work. Like I just cannot be social for real with people where I get my money to pay my bills. Like my bills are very important to me. I want to be able to live, I want to be able to eat, I want to be able to do the things I want to do. So I'm not gonna risk it being friends, because it's like me and my friends just be doing stuff, and it's like, am I trying to hang out or really get deep and have my business on with someone on the job and like potentially for you to go and gossip? I'm not trying to put my business out there. Like even just in general, I do not talk about my business. Like I remember one of my coworkers recently, she was like, yeah, you really don't talk about much. Like you talk, but like literally she was like, oh, sometimes we'll talk about what we did this weekend, and like you would be like, yeah, I had fun, but like you don't really talk a lot about it. Like I don't, because you guys aren't my friends. Like no tea, don't shade. It's not like I don't like my coworkers, we're cool, we chat, but it's like at the end of the day, you aren't people I don't know. I've heard too many stories, like people from family members. Like, maybe it's also like my mom has always told me like she's not friends with her coworkers, and like stories about her trifling coworkers, and even just people I've seen how people move from when I was like in high school working, like other teenagers, how they move in the means of like trying to get closer to the boss or like trying to do weird things. It's just like I don't want to shit where I make my money. Country and state, whatever, like yeah, it's not for me personally. I don't think it's necessarily wrong. Like I think it's cute when I see people be like, yeah, I'm bestie with someone at my work, but it's just at the same time, it's too much. It's too much, because I feel like at the end of the day, like people are gonna put their job before you, just like how I put my job. Like they're gonna put their job before you, and if it's between you and them to get the promotion, they're gonna be like, yeah, Sally does crack on the weekends, she does this, her man is cheating on her, she ain't good, she said this about you during lunch. These are the same people that would tell everybody the stuff you talked about. So I don't know, I just don't trust people at my job. I'm not paranoid about it, but I just feel like y'all aren't my friends, you know? It's just like there's just a difference. Things you talk about, it's kind of like the difference between your friends and your parents. Like you talk about things with your friends that you don't talk about with your parents, you talk about things with your parents that you don't talk about with your friends necessarily. So it's just a division for me personally. I don't think it's not automatically wrong, but I would say if someone is friends with someone at their job, be very cautious in my opinion. Okay, the next thing I am not falling for is Duolingo not teaching you anything. I see people all the time be like, yeah, I used to do Duolingo and I stopped because I wasn't learning anything. I feel like I've done Duolingo for periods of time and I've learned a lot. Like I would say most of the French I know, I'm not gonna speak French, but I could understand a lot of French. Like sometimes I watch videos in French. When I went to France, I was able to communicate or read signs or get around. I learned all of that on Duolingo. And I feel like sometimes people literally just do, you know how they advertise like, oh yeah, you can learn a language in 5 minutes a day. I think people took that very literal. Like I think you have to do a little bit more. Like I've definitely done more than 5 minutes every day. I mean, not all the time. Like did I do Duolingo yesterday? I probably did like 10 minutes yesterday, but like some days I'll do like 45 minutes or, you know, different amounts. So I do think you can learn something on Duolingo. I think it's obviously you're not going to be fluent. I don't think any one source of language learning is going to make someone fluent, but I think if you're literally only doing 5 minutes, like, you know, because sometimes I do look at some people's like, you know, friends I have or people, just random people on like the streak tiers you can see online, and I'm just like, you really do only do one lesson a day. And those are probably the same people who are like, yeah, Duolingo doesn't teach me anything. And I think also some people complain about like how they don't really teach grammar rules, and I guess that's like more of a learning style preference of like, oh yeah, do you want to learn the rules? Like for me, I don't really like learning grammar. I feel like when I was in high school and I would learn grammar, I didn't really like it. I feel like that was probably why I like struggled with Spanish, because I felt like it was a lot of rote memorization versus like now with French, like I kind of just know it like innately, kind of like, okay, no, this is how it's supposed to go. If I'm using like the you, then this is the pronoun, or this is the verb I need to use, or like if I'm saying I need to use this ending. Like, you know, I don't know, I feel like it's a lot more innate, and I kind of like that because I don't really think about it. It's just like kind of how when I'm speaking English, like I'm not thinking about like this word after that word and that word, you know. I feel like with Spanish, when I was learning that in high school, that was like my biggest issue. Okay, the next thing I'm not falling for is the G7X, the Canon G7X. So if you don't know what this is like a camera that's really popular. It used to be popular, I think, back in the day, but like a couple years ago for like vloggers, like kind of like the camera I use. This is like a Sony ZV-1F or something like that. I think the Canon G7X was like kind of like the popular vlog camera at the time. Now it's like, you know, with the rise of digital cameras or digicams being popular again, people have like really, one of the ones that's kind of like come up as the top runner is the Canon G7X. And like people are always like, yeah, you need this and that, and like mind you, these are people who know nothing about cameras, and I don't mean that as shade, because I don't really know much. Like I know a little bit about cameras. Like you were asking me about like the super technical stuff, I don't know, but everyone's just like, yeah, you need a Canon G7X to get your pictures to look like this. I'm like, I don't think so. I feel like you can get literally any digital camera. And I think the biggest thing about the Canon G7X is that people just use that aggressive flash. The aggressive flash in any context, even when the sun is so bright. Like it's just like the flash is supposed to light you up. even when, you know, when it's dark. So like say you're out at night and you use a flash, you're gonna be able to see you. That's the whole point. But then people just use the flash in any given instance, and that's why it looks super clear. And then also, I think people, because we've gotten so used to iPhones, it's like people don't realize that, like, yeah, the Canon G7X has a way better sensor and bigger sensor than the iPhone, so it's gonna look a lot more detailed and bigger than the iPhone. Because yeah, like that's just kind of how cameras work. And yeah, but I don't know, I'm not buying into the idea that you need that to look to get your pictures look like that. I think you can get any point and shoot and like optimize the settings a little bit and turn on that aggressive ass flash, and your pictures are gonna look pretty similar, I promise. Like I've had friends who have their random digicams that they got from their families. I have mine that I haven't used in years, but yeah, like I don't think you need the G7X. Like I don't think it's that deep. The next thing I'm not falling for is it's just a joke. I'm a sensitive person. I feel like a lot of people don't think I'm sensitive because I'm like kind of like maybe when you get this from like social media, but I'm kind of a reserved person for towards most people, or like in most interactions, unless I know you pretty well. So people, I don't know, I feel like people in general sometimes will like say things and like, oh yeah, Glacia doesn't matter. Like I've literally had people be like, oh yeah, I feel like you're emotionless. I'm like, why would I be emotionless if I'm a person? That doesn't make any sense. I'm literally a human. Why would I be emotionless? And like I feel like just in general, like even outside of me, people make jokes and then be like, oh yeah, it's just a joke, lighten up. Why? You said something mean and you labeled it as a joke. You said it with a little tone and it's like I'm supposed to accept your blatant disrespect as a joke. No. That was mean. I also hate people who you can't say, yeah, that was mean, and then like they'll kind of scold you for saying it was mean. It's like, why? Like, why should I lighten up when you hurt my feelings? Like, be mindful. You know, don't be sorry, be careful. But like, but yeah, like I don't know, I hate that so much, and like that's not something I'm falling for. Like if someone tells you, oh yeah, your joke hurt me, then you should be mindful. Say sorry, like be like, yeah, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Like obviously, like sometimes people really do mean it. Some people are maybe being a little shady and they try and test the waters, but like I'm also assuming some people really were just joking, right? But it's like I hate when they're just like, oh yeah, well I was just joking, like I didn't. Okay, say sorry and keep it pushing. Like, because then once you start with the, oh I was just joking, lighten up, I'm sorry, it's just like now I don't take you serious. Now you're just mean and disrespectful. The next type of propaganda I'm not falling for is the whole, if your boyfriend doesn't post you or your partner doesn't post you, then like they're cheating or something. I don't know, I just feel like so many people, I don't know how social media has come and became such a big part of social interactions. I mean obviously basically our generation has grown up on it, so I do understand how. But it's just like your partner didn't post you on social media, they hate you, they're cheating. And just like the whole concept of like, there's all these like little random things that people come up with online, and then it's like, oh yeah, if your partner doesn't do this, they hate you. Like all these random baskets, like, oh yeah, they didn't make you a basket for Halloween, or they didn't make you a basket for Easter, then they don't love you, they hate you, or they don't post you every given moment on social media. Because it's like, if I see my partner all the time, does it really matter if they post me or not? If interactions we have together, obviously if your partner is doing some shady shit, that's crazy, but like I just feel like the perpetuation of people being like, whoa, yeah, he doesn't post her, then he's cheating, or she doesn't post him, he's like, it's dumb. It's really dumb. If you want to post your partner, post your partner. If you don't want to post your partner, don't post your partner. I mean, I feel like also the biggest thing is like, how does your partner feel about this? How do you feel about that? If you have issue with your partner not posting you, that's a conversation for you to have. Don't just assume that they're cheating. I feel like social media just really came in and like made all these different standards that honestly, when you really think about it, don't really make any sense. Another piece of propaganda I'm not falling for in general, kind of feeding off of that, is taking relationship advice from the internet. If you take relationship advice off the internet, I promise you will probably be single for the rest of your life. And there's nothing wrong with being single, but if you want to be in a relationship and that's what you're seeking out, and that's why you're seeking out dating advice and you're getting it from the internet, baby, like the things I see, it's so dumb. And I think also the biggest thing about dating is like, dating is so personal, and things that matter to you may not matter to the next person, right? Like I've seen girls be like, oh yeah, like your boyfriend needs to get you flowers all the time, but like for me, you can be someone where you don't like flowers. So how can someone tell you, yeah, if a boy doesn't get you flowers, then he hates you, when it's like, that's not something I value? Because at the end of the day, everyone's dating, your dating standards and the things you want of dating are really just a big reflection of who you are. So taking someone else's dating standards and wants and needs and applying it to yourself is the quickest way for you to lose the plot and end up dating someone you don't want to be with, or losing someone you wanted to be with because you're taking advice from a completely different person who has completely different standards for dating. Okay, the next piece of propaganda I'm not falling for is low maintenance friends. And I obviously understand the idea that you're not going to be able to talk to your friends every single day. You're growing up, life's changing, people are getting older, jobs, going to professional school, whatever. Obviously, I understand the idea, especially if you have like more distant friends because, you know, you move away, you went to college, whatever. But I just feel like the idea of people being like, yeah, like if my friend wants to talk to me very often, I hate that, like they're weird, they need a partner. It's like, why? Like I thought y'all want community, but you don't want to be talking to your friends. And like I said, I'm not saying every single day, but that's just so weird to me. And then people be like, yeah, I haven't talked to my friend in like 5 years, but we're still besties. It's just like, are you really? Like, I don't know, someone who I haven't talked to for 5 years called me up and was like, Lacey, I need something. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know you no more. Like, you don't know me. You know how much can change in 5 years. 5 years was the pandemic. I just graduated high school. I haven't been to college yet. I was still a teenager. 5 years from today, I'm gonna be in my late 20s, living God knows where, doing God knows what. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's just a crazy idea to be like, yeah, we haven't talked in 5 years. And obviously I can get the idea of reconnecting with someone you haven't talked to, like maybe a high school friend, elementary school friend, and y'all get dinner, but it's like, there's no way you tell me that's ride or die bestie. I feel like the idea of low maintenance friends is really interesting to me. And I think I've just been overall in my life thinking about friendship and like the role that's gonna play as I get older and stuff. Actually, you know, the other day I went to Ulta and I was like in there, I think I was just like in the mall walking around, and I saw that they got the Morphe Trend Center pencil back, which is like the lip liner I used to use before I lost it, and I think Morphe got rid of it for a while, and I think they brought it back. But when I was there, it was sold out. I was gonna order it online, like order 2 online, but I just realized I forgot to put on like full face like setting powder, but thankfully I'm not doing anything important, so you know, we're secure. But yes, those were all my propaganda I'm not falling for, which I guess is also kind of like our modern day version of like unpopular opinion videos, because I feel like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, back in 2020, 2021, maybe 2019, 2018, those were really popular videos online. But yeah, this was fun. I liked it. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell me any of the propaganda you're not falling for. Make sure you check out any of my other videos on my channel, and see you in the next one.